Hi, I'm Bill Ward, Executive Vice President for the Home Builders Association of Illinois. The spring session of the 101st General Assembly is well underway, and between the months of January and the end of May, we will be looking at some 5,000 to 6,000 Senate and House bills that could affect the housing industry. Here's some of the bills that we're keeping an eye on right now. Senate Bill 1352 would create a statewide Wetland Protection Act. It is sponsored by Senator Laura Fine. Home builders are taking opposition to this bill and are joined by the Illinois Association of Realtors, the Chamber of Commerce, and probably the Illinois Farm Bureau and more in opposing this legislation. Another bill that we'll be opposing is Senate Bill 1899. This creates a practice act for landscape architects. Our members don't see a need for a practice act for landscape architects. They currently have a title act, and we prefer just to see that stay where it's at. That bill is sponsored by Senator Terry Link from Lake County. Senate Bill 255 would repeal the preemption of rent control in the state of Illinois. We have a state statute right now that prohibits units of local government from passing an ordinance for rent control. That bill is sponsored by Representative Will Gazzardi of Chicago. We're joined by Chicagoland Apartment Association and the Realtors and several other groups in opposing this bill. Companion bill is House Bill 2192. If you thought rent control was just going to be an issue in the city of Chicago, you're wrong. 2192 will create a 6-tiered statewide rent control act that will create different levels of rent control depending on where you're located in the state of Illinois. That bill is sponsored by Representative Mary Flowers of Chicago. House Bill 3499, sponsored by Representative Manley of Joliet, would hold builders personally liable for home warranties should the builder dissolve the LLC that the home was built under. We're going to take opposition to that. I'll be talking to the sponsor of that bill in the next couple of days to see where this issue is coming from. And House Bill 358 creates the Worker Protection Unit under the Attorney General's office. This bill takes a lot of what is currently done by the Illinois Department of Labor and moves it over to the Attorney General's office. Issues like minimum wage, unemployment benefits, employee classification would now be handled by the AG's office instead of Department of Labor. There's a couple of bills that we're actually in support of. One is, a couple of them are our own. House Bill 3600, sponsored by Representative Sam Yingling, would create an expansion of the Vacant Lot Act. It would allow for the benefits of the Vacant Lot Act to transfer from the developer to the person buying the lot and keep the taxes, the assessments low on that property until time to build. This will keep the property taxes down for the builders in Illinois, and that will allow for that cost savings to be sent over to the sale of the home. So we did this for 3 years, about 10 years ago, and it worked pretty well. So we'd like to do this again as a means of creating more home construction in Illinois. And then finally, there's going to be a bill introduced that will prohibit transfer taxes to be applied to homes that are assessed impact fees. Transfer taxes and impact fees do virtually the same thing, and we feel that this is a form of double taxation. We passed this bill in the House 2 years ago, but it did not receive consideration in the Senate. So we're going to give it a shot again and see if we can get it passed. Right now, we haven't seen anything dealing with service taxes on home repair. The only tax that we've seen that maybe going forward this session that we need to keep an eye on is the constitutional amendment for to create a progressive taxation on income taxes. We'll have a position on that later and more about that later. Finally, I invite you all to the HBAI Lobby Day here in Springfield. It will be on Tuesday, April 30th. These issues and more will probably be on the agenda, and I need your help on getting our message through on these issues. So please pencil it in now to be in Springfield on April 30th for the Home Builders Lobby Day. That's it from Springfield for now. I hope everything's going your way.